Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. Here we are at the end of 2021. I think it is a good time to review the portfolio, reflect on the decisions made in this year before we move on to the next year. In this video, I will give an update on my portfolio and I will provide a detailed analysis on the gains I made this year up to 24 December 2021, which is end of last week. Although this is not a complete full year, but I think it is sufficient to give you an idea on the full year performance. I'm sharing these details for a couple of reasons. 1. Transparency. My content are all related to finance and investing, including companies' due diligence. You may be interested to see my investment return and my allocations, which is a good proxy for my convictions on the companies that I have mentioned. 2. Sharing. This is my way of showing how I build my portfolio. Some of you watching my content are young and wonder how to invest and how to build a portfolio. There are people who don't believe in buy and hold and still see stock market as a place to buy low and sell high and make a profits. So what I'm doing here is to show you my investing approach, which is mainly buy and hold. It takes time to build a portfolio to a large positions, so patience is needed. What is not needed is actively watching share price because I only buy companies that I believe have strong fundamentals. Let's get started. Appreciate an early thumbs up if you like the video. This snapshot was captured on 27 December 2021. I'm presenting all the numbers in SGD because my interactive broker is in SGD and my deposits are all in SGD. Let's take a look at the return. The chart provided by IBKR is showing 31.6% return. This is the time-weighted return, meaning that it is not affected by the timing of the cash flow. My portfolio's money-weighted return is also about the same. This is an incredible year because as you can see from the chart, the returns almost never dip to the red throughout the period. Market just keep going up and up. We could attribute this rally to the post-COVID recovery and the easy US monetary policy. I don't know whether this rally will continue into 2022, but I think we should adjust our expectations given that the Fed already signaled to cut back on the QE and will hike rates starting from 2022. My portfolio return is slightly higher than S&P 500 in the same corresponding period. 2021 is another year where US market outperformed the rest of the world. For example, Chinese market hasn't been doing that well. Later, I will show you my losses in Chinese stocks. With that investment return, how much have my portfolio gains in 2021? The portfolio has went up from 212,000 to 425,000. That's right, I have doubled my portfolio value this year. Let me provide you the breakdown. At the beginning of the year, my portfolio value is 212,000. Currently, the portfolio value is 425,000. During the entire year, I have deposited $124,000. This means that on average, every month I put in slightly above $10,000. I was able to do so this year because I have liquidated my Singapore stocks, which was sitting with a local brokerage account, and put that into IBKR. I've done that because I have a higher conviction on my global stocks holding and I don't see a point to continue holding Singapore stocks. Moving forward, I will continue to DCA into IBKR, but definitely not as much as 124,000 a year. So if we take the difference of the portfolio value and deduct the 124,000 deposit, the total gains for this year is $89,000. These gains came from both the long-term stock holding and the short-term trading, which mainly consists of options. On the long-term stock holding, I have made $56,000. This includes the gains from stocks that I have already owned at the start of the year and the gain or losses from those that I bought during the year. My long-term stock portfolio is 100% public. You can join my Telegram group if you are interested to track my portfolio. Let's take a look which stocks contributed the most to the gains and losses. There are 4 stocks that contributed quite a decent gains. Microsoft, Nvidia and Apple contributed between $13,000 to $15,000 and Tesla contributed around $9,000. Largest losses came from 3 Chinese stocks, namely Meituan, Alibaba and Tencent. The losses ranged from $3,000 to $9,000. Chinese stocks are having a very bad sentiment this year because of the Chinese government crackdown, especially on the tech sector. If you ask me what's my outlook for these companies, I feel that I'm kind of neutral. I think the share price already dropped to the extent that they are considered very cheap from valuation perspective. At the same time, I also felt that the Chinese crackdown will have a longer impact to the fundamentals of these companies. So my stand is that I will continue to hold, but I'm not adding for now. The rest of the holdings are mostly in the green, but the magnitudes are not as high as Microsoft and Apple. This is either because they haven't moved that much or my position sizing is too small to make a significant difference. This year I also exited from a couple of smaller holdings and realized some losses. These include Teladoc, Roku and also Tencent Music Entertainment. I sold this not because I'm turning bearish on them, but it's just that I wanted to concentrate my portfolio over stocks that I have higher conviction on. So invest for the long term doesn't mean buy and never sell. It means the buy or sell decision should be based on whether you want to own the company over the long term period due to the fundamentals of the company. company. It is okay to sell if you no longer want to hold the company. On the short-term portfolio, I have made a total of 30,000 gain. For this short-term portfolio, I have not been able to share it publicly because this is speculation. The strategy that I have been using is mainly selling options, mostly put options. If you look at the breakdown of these companies, most of the gains came from Tesla, followed by AMC and GameStop. I had been taking advantage on the high implied volatility offered by these stocks. For your information, I have stopped selling options on GameStop and AMC because their implied volatility have dropped quite significantly compared to the short squeeze period. There are also some screw up as well, for example on Sava and BioNTech. You know, for option strategy involves selling put, you are selling insurance to someone that the share price will not drop below the strike price. In return, you are able to collect small premiums from selling insurance. However, if the share price drops significantly, it could wipe out all the gains you had earlier. For BioNTech, this is exactly what happened. When the share price dropped, I had to cut loss and close the positions. In total, I lost close to $5,000 in this single position. Similar thing happened to Sava as well. I have not been sharing my trades in the short-term portfolio for two reasons. One, because it involves short-term speculation on price movement, sometimes I have to react fast to close or to roll my position. I may not be able to provide the rationale of my actions on a timely manner. If you have been following me on YouTube or Telegram, you will know that when I share my portfolio or my purchase, I share it on a 100% transparency. I'm not able to do so for the short-term portfolio. Two, this is not something that I would advocate. I foresee that as time progresses, my long-term portfolio would be my focus as the portfolio continues to compound over time. The short-term portfolio is more like an itchy portfolio for me, so its impact to the portfolio return will proportionately lower in the future. To give you an idea the size of the short-term portfolio, as of 24 December 2021, I only have 2 short contracts on Alibaba with the strike price of $100 with very short maturity. For those of you who want to take a detailed look on my current portfolio, here you go. Alright, I hope that this video is helpful to you. Let me say a few words on my expectation for the coming years. 2021 is definitely a good year from investment return perspective. The portfolio grew quite significantly because of the deposits, and I got decent return in the long-term portfolio and the short-term portfolio. Out of these 3 components, the only one that I have control is the deposit, and my plan is to continue to add money to the portfolio. The investment return is not something that I can control. We might have another 30% return next year, or it could be negative 30%. If it is negative, the deposits could be more than offset by the investment losses and my portfolio may not grow at all. But that is fine, because what I'm aiming for is not some quick gains in the stock market. I'm building my portfolio over the next decade, and the market corrections is always good time to dollar cost averaging, as I will be able to buy at a cheaper valuation. As long as I'm putting money in consistently, it is a matter of time that this portfolio will grow to a sizable amount one day. For those who are on the same journey in building portfolio, I would love to hear your story, how you build a portfolio, which stage are you currently at, etc. Drop me a message over Telegram or reach out to me via email or Twitter. Hope you enjoyed this video. Happy New Year and see you in the next one.